So I noticed something strange recently on YouTube, and you might have noticed it too. And it's this big shift that I've never seen on YouTube before, and it's that YouTube is actually showing and promoting smaller channels next to bigger channels. So if you are looking to get started on YouTube, but you're held back by the fear of it being too saturated or too hard to be seen, this video is going to explain to you why in 2025 YouTube is still on easy mode. One thing I've noticed recently is as I'm scrolling through YouTube, I actually see smaller creators, smaller channels with tiny subscriber counts being actively promoted next to huge creators that have millions of subscribers, which is kind of strange. But at the same time, it's actually quite refreshing to see because it shows that YouTube are actively pushing smaller creators as well as big creators. And it's actually in YouTube's favor to do that. If they can help small YouTubers get over that hurdle, the initial hurdle of getting started and growing a channel and getting traction, it then means that YouTube can run more ads on your videos, which then means they make more money as a business. So it's in their logical reasoning to want to help you grow as a small channel. Even with like less than 1,000 subscribers, they want to actually push your content. So how do we get our content seen in what people feel is a saturated platform? So I don't believe YouTube is saturated at all. Sure, there's like an obscene amount of videos being uploaded every day. It's actually crazy how many hours of YouTube footage is being uploaded to the platform, even just since starting this video, like literally in this last minute or so. But at the same time, there's more and more people watching the videos. And one thing I'm noticing, people are being drawn to personal branding and authentic content and niche content over perfectionist stuff. You don't need to have the perfect lighting, the perfect camera, great audio to start with. You can upgrade all that stuff over time, but as long as you're teaching or sharing something valuable, YouTube wants to push that content and put it in front of more people because it knows if it does that in the long run, both you the creator and them as the business win. It's not too saturated, it's still in easy mode. Let's talk about some practical tips for getting started on YouTube. So if you have been thinking about getting started, but you're a little bit confused as to maybe what your channel should be about, what videos should you make, let's talk about define your niche. One thing I've always been really passionate about is sharing what I'm interested in about, because you want to pick something that you can endlessly talk about with no scripts, no nothing like that. Something that comes natural and easy to you. Something that you have a skill, passion, interest in. Doesn't really, well, I would say it does matter actually. It does matter. But it's something you can talk endlessly at. You can talk for hours and hours and hours at. You don't need to worry about being perfect. Like you don't need scripts. You don't need all this fancy stuff. You just need to get started and be authentic and transparent. That's what people are craving nowadays, I believe. So if you can do that, you're on to a winning role. Like you don't need fancy equipment. Don't let that perfectionist mindset stop you from actually getting started, because I know a lot of people are like that. They're waiting for all the lights to be green before they actually hit go and start their channel, which is the wrong mindset. Just start and be shit at the beginning. Like I'll tell you now, your first 10 videos, probably even more, will be crap. It probably won't get as many views as you think, but you have to go through that period to get better at making videos and attract the right audience to your channel. Because if you start a new channel, YouTube has no idea who you are, what you're sharing, and the right audience for your channel. So as you're putting out more and more videos, YouTube is going out and it's trying to find an audience, the right people, the right fit, who want to watch your content. And it'll keep doing that until, well, it'll just keep doing it. It just never stops. Never stop. That's why I love YouTube so much, because they're always actively finding new audiences of people to watch your videos. So it starts by defining your niche. And I would scratch your own itch. Look at what you already are passionate about, you're interested in, and you have an expertise or a skill in. Let's set some realistic goals here. You should decide up front how you are going to treat this business. Do you want to treat it as a hobby? Do you want to treat it as a side hustle, or do you want to treat it as a full-time business? Because, or like a potential business, should I say, not a full-time business just yet. Because that will dictate your strategy moving forward and how much commitment you're going to give it. If you're going with a hobbyist approach, this is going to be a little bit more of a chilled, laid-back vibe to things. Maybe you don't have as hectic as a content schedule, an upload schedule, or a long-term plan with what you want to do with the channel. Whereas if you wanted to start a business or start a channel with the potential of it being a business and an income stream in the future, which I highly recommend you do, you need to have a more structured approach. We need to define the niche we're serving or the niche we're creating content about. We need to have somewhat of a rough idea of when and what we're going to upload. And then we also need to look at potential income streams for looking down the road, because you don't want to just rely on YouTube ad revenue. YouTube ad revenue is actually probably one of the lowest grades of pay you can make as a full-time YouTuber. Sure, you can make decent money off it, but it's not very predictable. Sometimes you can have insane months of YouTube ad revenue, because I've experienced this. Other months it won't be as consistent. So we have other options how we can diversify our income and open up potential doors to more income streams, which I want to talk about in this video. So I want you to start simple. I'm filming right now on my iPhone. It's not even the latest iPhone. And I do have a microphone and I do have a fancy light, but it's not really fancy. It's like a £40 light off Amazon that's like a USB thing. It's nothing fancy. But don't get caught in the beginning thinking that you need a £5,000 camera and a £1,000 microphone and some £500 sets of lights and a fancy studio. You don't need any of that stuff to get started to share your message. You just literally need a phone. I've even used one of these before, like an action camera. Set the camera up and just talk to it. The next point, I've actually said this on other videos as well, and it's the thing that trumps a lot of other things, it's consistency. So you showing up consistently over time is the thing that's going to make this channel work and be successful. If you're not consistent, YouTube might not be for you. In fact, most things probably aren't for you. You have to have some level of discipline and consistency for anything to work, and YouTube is no different. So pick a schedule that you can commit to in the beginning. If you can commit to one video a week uploading, just do that. If you can do more, fine, but it has to fit with your schedule. If you've already got like a 9-to-5 job and your life is already crammed as it is, don't try and commit to doing 5-6 videos a week on YouTube, because I think it's going to end up in a bad way. Just pick a way that you can get consistent at making videos. That's the main point. Next point is about solving problems, right? That's entirely what you're creating a YouTube channel for. There's a caveat with this, because there is 2 types of YouTube channels. You've got entertainment channels like MrBeast, or gaming channels, or things that people just sit and watch mindlessly. And you've also got education style channels, which are there to teach people something. It's there to answer questions. So say, for example, this channel. This channel is all about helping you build or start and grow a YouTube channel. I create videos all about helping you get started and overcome any hurdles you might have with starting a YouTube channel. I show you how to do everything. I provide solutions in my niche. That's what you need to think about. So this could be tutorials, how-to videos, it could be personal tips, personal experiences, stories. It could be in the form of anything. Just make sure it's valuable. Value, how do you define value? If something is from your experience, your own unique experience, that in itself is valuable, because you are the only you. You're the only person who's experienced whatever it is you're sharing in the way that you have. And that's what people want. They don't want something new. I don't believe you can share something on YouTube that is completely brand new, or you can, but it's very rare. What you're doing is you're sharing your own unique take on something. And that's what people want to see. And that to me is true value. And if you've got any self-doubt about starting, I want to kind of address those right now. Like, you don't need to be an expert in something. Say, for example, you have what you would say you are crazy good at using these cameras, which I feel like I'm crazy good at using action cameras. I love cameras, I'm obsessed with them. And I would class myself as somewhat as an expert with them. But am I the best person to ask about cameras and videos? No. I know a fair bit, but the key thing is I know more about those cameras than the people watching my videos. So I'm basically 1 or 2 steps ahead of where they are. And that's all you need to be seen as an expert to somebody else. And yet we're not trying to attract every single person on YouTube to your channel. We're trying to attract a very small segment of people who are interested and want to learn from you. And that's not a very big number of people at all. Now, what about monetizing your channel? Now, a lot of you will be watching this and thinking, well, I need to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time to start making money on YouTube. Yep, you do. And that's when you start earning money from ad revenue, from YouTube ad revenue. But it's not the only way. You can earn a very healthy income from having less than 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I know that because I've done that. I've done that with affiliate links. I've done that with courses and digital products. So affiliate links. Let's say, for example, you're making a video about YouTube channels. Let's say, for example, we make a video about gear and the tools that I use. I could review gear that I use, or give like a gear list I recommend for beginner YouTubers. And I could link to that gear in the description below. And if anybody watches and decides they want the same gear as me and they buy through my link, I get a commission on every sale I make. And this is a really easy way to monetize your channel with less than 1,000 subscribers. It's a really, really good way to start monetizing your channel. And then obviously as we grow, you can start creating digital products. You can create courses, templates, guides that you can sell. You can start building your email list, which I highly, highly, highly recommend everybody should do. I wish I'd started building an email list like 10 years ago, but it took so many years for me to be convinced, but that's why I'm here now, like hammer it down in this video saying start an email list. But coaches, courses, consulting, digital products, you can do all this with less than 1,000 subscribers. YouTube ad revenue is one way, just one way of how you can monetize your channel. It's not the be all and end all. Just because you would call yourself a YouTuber or you make YouTube videos doesn't mean that you make all your income from YouTube revenue or YouTube AdSense, because it's the smallest amount. For a lot of people, it's the smallest amount of money. And you can't get to that until you get the 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers. So you may as well focus elsewhere until you get there anyway. And then the ad revenue is like a cherry on top of the cake. And speaking of building your email list, this is what YouTube is great for. Because remember I mentioned before that YouTube is always going out to find new people to watch your videos. Let's say, for example, you have some sort of a free lead magnet to give away in return for someone's email address. You can promote that in the description of your videos. And sure, not everyone who watches your videos will click the link and join your email list, but there will be a portion of people who will. And that's how you can build your email list over time. And YouTube is always showing your videos to more people. This is the most organic way to build your email list. Like, I've got people joining my email list from videos that I made years ago because they're still getting traffic and eyeballs on the video, which is nuts. So here's some current trends as well that I see on YouTube that are currently working in 2025. So documenting and sharing progress. So if you are in the middle of a project or a process, or maybe you're learning a new skill, for example. Again, nothing has to be perfect. You could literally start a channel about you learning a new skill. I could start a channel about me learning how to ride my new dirt bike. I could start a channel about me having to learn a backflip on a mountain bike. And it doesn't matter if you're absolute dog shit at the skill. People love seeing the journey of you going from dog shit to not dog shit. That's the best example I can give. Showing success and having the confidence or the skill to share your mistakes. Nothing has to be polished and perfect. Just share the ups and downs, the bloopers. Share it all. Share the mistakes, everything. No one's looking for perfection because perfection isn't real. Perfection isn't relatable. Whereas you sharing mistakes and being vulnerable is real, and the vulnerability is the thing that is going to attract the audience. The real people who want to watch your content, consume it, love everything you do, buy your products, whatever. That's the way I see it. Vulnerability is insane. Building in public as well. Same kind of idea. If you're starting a business or you're starting a YouTube channel, which I hope you do after this, build it in public. Show people on YouTube what you're doing. Show them your progress. People are super interested by this stuff because they find it relatable. And that's the most important thing. It's hard to relate sometimes to a YouTuber or somebody you'd see as an expert who is a million miles in front of where you are. But if you're following someone who's just a few steps in front of you, it's very relatable and it's almost very achievable for someone watching. And that's what makes something bingeable and watchable. As long as you're transparent and show your wins and your struggles, you literally can't lose. So I want you to watch this video and I want you to make your first video. And I want you to comment below when you made that first video and send me a link to it. I'm challenging you to make your first video. Forget about the gear. Don't overthink all that crap. Just get your phone out, whatever you have right now in your pocket, and use that. And upload it and engage with your audience. Reply to comments, ask them for feedback, and involve them as much as you can. That is what I would like you to do. The best time to start a channel would have been maybe last year, but the next best time is like right now after you watch this video. I will leave more links in the description below to some free YouTube tips I've put together for you for free, and YouTube will also recommend some videos here which I highly recommend you check out next.